What's going on, football fans? It's time once again for another rendition of the Pound for Pound. I'm your host, J.R. Clark, and today we're going to be talking about the game that we've all been looking forward to, or dreading, however you want to put it, this whole season. It's the Pats rematch. It's the rematch of the Super Bowl. It's the revenge game. It's the whatever you want to label it as. It's the make or break game of this season. However you want to put it. It's a big one. In a sense of the last two games, this team hasn't played very well. Hasn't looked like the team that went to the Super Bowl this whole season. So, this in some people's minds is the pivotal point of the season. I don't know if I go that far, but I do feel like it's a pretty big game. If you win this game, you're 4-2, you beat the Pats at home, and your season's still like within your grasp. If you lose this game, you're 3-3. Depending on how you lose this game, if you lose it in the fashion that you've been losing these games, even more questions are going to get asked about your team. So, with that being said, let's kind of go over the preview, the rundown of what I think may happen or what I would like to see in this game. First and foremost, I'd like to see our offense get clicking again. I don't think that it's been horrible in an overall sense. The disappearing act in the second half of the Bills and the Dolphins game has, again, leaving a lot of people asking questions. So I don't like that trend, and I hope that that was a blip, an anomaly, not necessarily the mainstay. As a Falcons fan, I don't want it to be the mainstay. So I'm going to try to be an optimist on this. But this game can go a long way to putting a lot of people, curbing doubts and squelching fears. Or it could go the other way. It could do a lot to fan the flames, so to speak. So, first and foremost, I think we need to get, the big elephant in the room as far as we're 5 weeks in and Julio still doesn't have a touchdown. Now, I know that he has been targeted, maybe not as much as some people feel like he should have been. I am one of those people. I mean, when you have an all-world talent such as Julio Jones, then you kind of got to feed him the ball, But at least they're not laser focusing on Julio, so that's good. Big part of our success last year was the fact that we spread the ball around to everybody. Everybody was a threat, but Julio was threat number one. Right now, Julio is not necessarily threat number one, so we need to rectify that pretty quickly. I think Dan Quinn's even mentioned the lack of red zone targets or touchdowns from Julio is somewhat troubling. As far as the offensive coordinator performance thus far, I'm not I don't know how to say this. I'm worried, but I'm not panicking. I feel like it's more of a product of Steve Sarkisian's not yet comfortable with the tools at his disposal. I mean, remember Shanahan in his first year, it was Julio or Devontae or nothing. Roddy White was still on this team. He may not have been the Roddy White of old, but he still could have been productive. So it wasn't until the second year that he became more, comfortable with the talent that he had on this team. Now, you would hope that running a similar system, supposedly, that it won't take as long for Sarkisian to get comfortable, but I don't know. I'm not up at Flowery Branch. I can't answer those questions. The one thing I have noticed is that it doesn't seem like we're doing a lot of the, rollouts and moving the pocket and having Ryan throw on the run as he did last year. Well, I say on the run. On the run's not the right way. On the move. That's where some of those big plays got created last year. Ryan rolling out. Doesn't seem to be doing that as much. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was something that Matt Ryan wasn't necessarily comfortable with. So now that you have a coordinator that's actually listening to him, he's like, hey, dog, let's not do that. Well, if that's the case, somebody needs to put a bug in his ear and go, hey, dog, that's how we got some of our big plays last year. And that's the type of offensive line that we have built, is a athletic, moving offensive line. Not a stand your ground, build a wall type offensive line. We have athletic offensive linemen. You need to move them. Double blocks and things of that nature. Misdirections. You get the line flowing one way, you roll out the other way, and that's where you get the big mismatches and the plays and stuff like that. I mean, that's how they scored the touchdown in the preseason with Devontae against, Miami. Okay. As you can tell, I'm probably a little more scathing and sarcastic than I normally am in these videos. I tend to try to be more upbeat and, more optimistic, which is the reason why I don't necessarily do recap videos, because this team at times can get my blood pressure through the roof. Anyway, so back to the Pats. Now, one thing to say, up to this point, we have played top 10 defenses through the season. Bears, the Packers at the time we played the Packers. Remember that now. I know it was only week 2, but they were still up there. So, Bears, Packers, the Dolphins, and Detroit. At the time that we played those teams, they all had really good defenses. The Bears' defense has actually improved. Same thing with the Dolphins and the Bills. I forgot the Bills. The Bills. So, needless to say, we have faced some pretty stout defenses. New England, right now, does not have a stout defense. Their defense that stymied us in the Super Bowl is not the same defense they have. Rob Ninkovich is gone. The Stephon Gilmore, who they brought in from Buffalo, is, I believe, hurt. I thought that's what I read. I know Eric Rowe, another guy that one of their cornerbacks, is probably not playing on Sunday. So, as odd as it may say, if there's a game to get the offense clicking, to give the chance for the offense to really get moving, could be New England. And it could be New England in New England, which is odd to say. So, what I'm hoping to see is our offense get in a rhythm. Dan Quick came out and said today that the guys seemed like they were on edge, but on a good way. So they're probably getting tired of losing the way they're losing. Kind of what it took last year. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just a shift. A lot of times your margin of winning and losing is really small. Like, a few plays go differently, then you win the game. Same thing with lose the game. I mean, we could have easily won that Buffalo game. We should have won the Miami game. Had Hooper made that catch, got a little bit more physical, fought for that ball, probably would have been in position to score. If not a touchdown, bare minimum, a field goal. Win that game. So, I look for our offense to get clicking. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm hoping for. If you missed it over the week, we signed Ataba Rubin, the former run-stuffing defensive tackle from Seattle, the Broncos, and the Browns. Most productive part of his career was Seattle. That ran, the Dan Quinn style defense. A run-stuffing defense. He is a run-stuffing defensive tackle. So, I don't know exactly what their plan is, if he's going to play this week, but it's a good sign that they're not staying pat. That was probably my biggest criticism with Mike Smith in his era, is they just didn't seem to want to make a move or make a decision. So, that's good to see that they're not resting on their laurels. However this season ends up turning out for our Atlanta Falcons, at least our coaching staff isn't blind to what the hell is going on. So, the hope is that they can fix it. And the hope is that they start fixing it before this, NFC and the NFC South is too far out of reach. That's what you don't want to see. You don't want to finally get your crap together and go, no chance of winning the NFC South, or no chance of getting in a wild card in the NFC. Because at the end of the day, getting invited to the dance is what I want consistently out of my team. Now, once you get to the dance, whole different ballgame. But I want my team to consistently be invited to the dance. I want to consistently be in the playoffs. I want to consistently be in that Super Bowl hunt. Okay? That's the things I feel like we can really control. Because any team on any Sunday can beat you. I don't care how good you are. I don't care how bad you think the other team is. They are professionals just like you are. So any given Sunday, you can lose. So you have to win more than you lose, obviously, to get into the playoffs. And to me, that's what you can control. So that's what I look for. That's how I will feel at the end of this season, whether this team had a Super Bowl hangover or not. Right now, the Super Bowl hangover is quote-unquote looking real. They have time to fix it. Now we just see if they're going to fix it. My prediction, sadly, is I don't see us coming out of this game with a win. There it is. I said it out loud. I don't see us going into Foxborough and winning this game. But I hope that this team proves me wrong. I hope that everybody else doesn't think that they can win, because that seems to be when they win. So at the end of the day, I want my team to win. I just don't see it. As always, Falcons fans, rise up.